Hello students, this is Kanupriya, PGT Geography, and here I am once again with my next video on the chapter that we were discussing earlier, which is solar radiation, heat balance and temperature. This is the chapter of Book 1, Fundamentals of Physical Geography. Earlier, in my previous video, we had discussed about insolation. We had discussed that how insolation varies from place to place, what are the various factors which affect the insolation, that is, angle of sun rays, rotation on its own axis, transparency of the atmosphere, length of the day, and configuration of land. These were the factors that affect insolation. After that, we had discussed about the three processes which are involved in the heating and cooling of the atmosphere, which are conduction, advection and convection. After that, we had discussed about temperature and the various factors that affect the temperature distribution. So today, we'll discuss the rest of the topics of this chapter, so let's start with it. Today's first topic is heat budget of the planet Earth. Heat budget basically defines the balance between the incoming solar radiations and outgoing terrestrial radiations. As we all know, the atmosphere is transparent to the incoming short-wave solar radiations, but it becomes opaque or translucent to the outgoing long-wave radiations. The outgoing long-wave radiation heat ups the atmosphere, and these radiations are called as the long-wave terrestrial radiations. Now, let's discuss what this heat budget defines. The Earth as a whole does not accumulate or lose heat. It maintains its temperature. This can happen only if the amount of heat received in the form of insolation equals the amount lost by the Earth through terrestrial radiations. Basically, Earth has a proper balance. It does not accumulate or lose heat. It maintains its temperature, and it can only occur because of the fact that the amount of heat which is received by the Earth in the form of insolation that equals to the amount lost by the Earth through terrestrial radiations. For example, if you consider that the insolation which is received at the top of the atmosphere is 100%. While passing through the atmosphere, some amount of energy is reflected, scattered and absorbed. Only the remaining part reaches the Earth's surface. So basically, if we consider that the insolation which is received at the atmosphere is 100%, but while passing through the atmosphere, some of the energy, some of the solar radiations are reflected, scattered and absorbed, and the remaining part of the energy reaches the Earth's surface. Roughly, if we say 35 units are reflected back to the space even before reaching the Earth's surface. Of these, 27 units are reflected back from the top of the clouds, 2 units from the snow and ice covered areas of the Earth. Which means that if we consider 100% of the energy which is coming at the top of the atmosphere, out of which roughly 35 units are directly sent back to the space. This reflected amount of radiation is called as the albedo of the Earth. That you have to remember that the reflected 35 units from the top of the atmosphere to the space is called as albedo of the Earth. The remaining 65 units are absorbed, out of which 14 units within the atmosphere and 51 units by the Earth's surface. The Earth radiates back 51 units in the form of terrestrial radiations. That means out of 100, we have 35 units which are sent into the space, and the remaining 65 units enter into the atmosphere. Out of these 65 units, 14 units are directly absorbed by the atmosphere, and the remaining 55 units reached to the surface of the Earth. And the Earth radiates exactly 51 units in the form of terrestrial radiations. Of these, 17 units are radiated to space directly, and the remaining 34 units are absorbed by the atmosphere. 48 units by the atmosphere and are radiated back into the space. Thus, the total radiation returning from the earth and the atmosphere respectively is 17 plus 48 is equal to 65 units, which maintains the balance, that is the total of 65 units received from the sun. This is termed as the heat budget or heat balance of the earth. This explains why the earth neither warms up nor cools down despite the huge transfer of heat that takes place. 51 units that reaches to the surface of the earth, it happens that some of the energy, that is 17%, is again reflected back into the space, and which is left, that is 48 units, when it is added with the 14% of the atmosphere, which makes up the 51%. That means the energy which is coming to the surface of the earth makes up a balance with the energy that is going out. So this balance or this budget is called as the heat budget or heat balance of the earth. That means the 100% energy which is coming from the sun is again reflected back from the earth's surface again to the atmosphere, again to the space. This explains why the earth neither warms up nor cools down despite the huge transfer of heat that takes place. So this is heat budget of the earth planet. Now comes the inversion of temperature. This is the last topic of this particular chapter. We have already discussed that temperature always decreases with increasing elevation, and it is called as normal lapse rate. Normal lapse rate, as discussed earlier, can be defined as the decrease in temperature. How much? That is 6.5 degrees Celsius decrease in temperature with every 1000 meters of height. It is called as normal lapse rate, and normally it happens that temperature decreases with increase in height. But at times the situations are reversed and the normal lapse rate is inverted, and this situation is called as inversion of temperature. So normally temperature decreases, but sometimes there are situations when the situation is reversed and the normal lapse rate is inverted, and this situation is called as inversion of temperature. Inversion is usually of short duration but quite common nonetheless. It is of short duration but it is a common phenomena. When does this inversion of temperature occur? It occurs during a long winter night with clear skies and still air, and these conditions are the ideal situation for inversion of temperature. The heat of the day is radiated off during the night, and by early morning hours the earth is cooler than the air above. Over polar areas, temperature inversion is normal throughout the year. Surface inversion promotes stability in the lower layers of the atmosphere. Smoke and dust particles get collected beneath the inversion layer and spread horizontally to fill the lower strata of the atmosphere. So basically it can happen during a long winter night and still air. The heat is radiated off during the night by early morning hours, and earth is cooler than the air above. So as you will move upwards, as the height increases, the temperature will increase with increasing height. Over polar areas, this temperature inversion or inversion of temperature is normal throughout the year. Dense fogs in mornings are common occurrences, especially during winter season. This inversion commonly lasts for few hours until the sun comes up and begins to warm the earth. The inversion takes place in hills and mountains due to air drainage. Cold air at the hills and mountains produced during night flows under the influence of gravity. Being heavy and dense, the cold air acts almost like water and moves down the slope to pile up deeply in pockets and valley bottoms with warm air above. This is called as air drainage. It protects plants from frost damages. So basically it can also occur in the hilly and the mountainous areas. What happens during cold night? During the night, the air being heavy above, heavier thing always sinks downwards. So the air being heavy, air being cold, it will sink downwards to the bottom of the valley. and because of which the air which is above, that will be warm than the air which is below. So as we will move upwards, as the height increases, the temperature will always increase. So this situation is for short duration of time, but it is a common phenomena which can be observed in the hilly and mountainous areas. And this is called as air drainage. So this is all for today. This is the end of the chapter. If you have any doubt, please come up with your doubts. Thank you so much.